a very settled Italian side take on a Wales team who've made yet more changes. My name is Mark. Let's talk rugby. Italy versus Wales. It's on Saturday, 11th of March at the Stadio Olimpico. Kickoff time is 2:15 GMT. The last 6 between these teams, 2022, Wales 21, Italy 22. That famous win for Italy last year that really has kind of sparked them into life. 2021, Italy 7, Wales 48. 2020, Wales 42, Italy 0. 2019, Italy 15, Wales 26. 2018, Wales 38, Italy 14. 2017, Italy 7, Wales 33. So of those last 6, you would think that maybe 2022 and 2019 are the most relevant in terms of how close everybody thinks that this one is going to be. In terms of the odds, so Italy are 13-11, Wales slight favourites 9-8 on. The draw is 24-1. Although the bookmakers don't have Italy as favourites, I think that there probably will be. I just feel they've got to be in terms of the form of the two teams. Let's have a look at the teams that have been selected. So first for Italy. Fullback, we have Tommaso Allan. Right wing, Edoardo Padovani. Centres are Juan Ignacio Brex and Tommaso Menincello. Then right wing is Pierre Bruno. Paolo Gerbisi is at 10. And Stephen Varney at 9. So those two continue they're building their partnership there. Into the forwards then, we have Danilo Fischetti at loose head. Giacomo Nicotera is your hooker. Simone Ferrari is the tight head. Second row is Niccolò Canone and Federico Ruzza. Back row, Sebastian Negri, Michel Lamaro and Lorenzo Canone. Onto the bench then, we have Luca Bigi, Federico Zani, Marco Riccioni, Eduardo Iacchesi, Giovanni Pettinelli, Manuel Zulani, Alessandro Fusco, and Luca Morisi. Onto the Welsh team then. So fullback is Liam Williams, right wing Josh Adams, centres Mason Grady and Joe Hawkins, Rio Dar on the left wing. The halfbacks are Owen Williams and Rhys Webb. Into the forwards then, so we have Wyn Jones at loose head, Ken Owens hooker, and Thomas Francis in the tight head. The second row pairing is Dafford Jenkins and Adam Beard. Back row is Jack Morgan, Justin Tipperick, and Talupe Falatau. Onto the bench then, we have Scott Baldwin, Garrett Thomas, Dylan Lewis, Rhys Davies, Tommy Reffel, Tomas Williams, George North, and Lewis Rees-Salmon. So in terms of the caps for these teams then, so in the backs it's actually fairly even. Italy have 192 to Wales at 182. Forwards then, 221 for Italy, 446 for Wales. So definitely more experience in that Welsh pack. But the thing with this Welsh team though, it can be a little bit deceptive because they have guys on 80, 90, 100 caps and guys on like 3, 4, 5 caps as well, and not very much in between. The starting 15s then, 413 caps for Italy, 628 for Wales. On the bench, 158 caps to come off the bench for Italy, 288 for Wales. The totals, 571 for Italy and 916 for Wales. So we've seen Wales a few times be over 1,000 caps. So obviously with Alan Wyn Jones out, that's 150 odd caps gone straight away. But you can also see from the cap totals, like Italy's is growing nicely now. They're actually getting up there to the point where they're getting on par with some of the other teams in the Six Nations. Wales, I think, are a bit of an outlier in terms of there are a lot of players in there with a lot of caps, because there just wasn't much turnover in terms of bringing new players in towards the end of Gatland's first stint with them. Then let's just have a look at how the two teams are. So first of all, as I said, Italy, they're not the bookmakers' favourites, but I think in many people's eyes, they are the favourites for this game. They've got no Capuozzo for this one. He got a shoulder injury. He's out of the rest of the tournament. Tommaso Allen is going to be in at fullback instead of him. Zuliani comes back onto the bench then to take that slot as Allen is promoted. It's a 6-2 split for Italy. They had a 6-2 split for most of the games. They're going with a double playmaker, which is going to be interesting because I was wondering, would they kind of go like for like with for Capuozzo and maybe move someone like Bruno or someone into the full back and just have an attacking threat there. But they've actually gone for the two playmakers. So maybe look out for the likes of Brex, being more involved simply because with two playmakers there's more chance of putting someone like him through a hole, and he might make some good hay there. And that guy has once he makes a break, he's got a nice fend and a great offload as well. So it could actually, a break from him could lead to a try for Italy at the weekend. Also, just in general terms, Lamoureux during the week, he's been talking about the positive public reaction to the team's performance so far this year and just the style of rugby that they're playing as well. As I talked about before, though, in the stats video and in the short preview, I think that Italy need to get a kicking game. If you took everything that Italy are doing now and added a kicking game to that, I think that they would be, serious contenders, not just to beat this Welsh team, but a lot of the other teams of the Six Nations as well. Because they're doing a lot of good stuff, but they're doing it in their own half. And a good kicking game can help them do more of that good stuff in the opposition's territory. And therefore, a break rather than getting you, up to the halfway line or just over the halfway line could lead to a try. And, when you start doing that and you start scoring, you're putting scoreboard pressure on the opposition and just making, it more likely that you're going to win games. I think, though, if they do win this game, it's going to have a massive impact for them in terms of, the public opinion over in Italy. Everybody loves a winner. And if they can do that and kind of just almost cement that good feeling that's there, the feel-good factor that's there, really will help them because we've seen, I've talked about before, that, when people were talking about kicking Italy out of the Six Nations previously, that, you need to give young players things to aspire to and people to look up to. And I think that's what this Italy team is doing. They're not just playing well now, they're also inspiring a new generation who in 10 or 15 years time are going to come into the national team and will be looking to raise the bar even more. So that's why I feel it's so important that they get a win here, because it could have massive implications for the future generations coming through for them. In terms of Wales, then 5 changes to the starting 15 for them. Seems to be every game they're making that many changes. Rhys Webb starts to scrum half. It's the first Six Nations start for him in 6 years. David Jenkins, Jack Morgan, Wyn Jones, and Liam Williams all brought into the starting team. Liam Williams, he's gotten 2 yellow cards in 2 games this year. Is he going to make it a hat trick? If he does, then the likelihood of Italy turning Wales over grows even more. Dan Biggar is out with a back problem, so Owen Williams continues at 10 for them. We've got Alan Wyn Jones is out. Now, it could be because Gatland talked about previously that, they would be rotating players all through the Six Nations. So it could be part of that. And maybe that's why we're seeing so many changes from Wales game on game. But there are shoots of improvement for them, but I don't think anywhere near as much as England, who got their new coach at the same time. It seems to be like you're looking at the starting team and the bench. It's a mix of the team that played Scotland and the team played England, basically. If you look at those two teams, you can, almost every player in the 23 is somewhere in there between those two. Rhys Webb, he was considered for start at fullback by Gatland, but Gatland said that he felt that he hadn't played that much in terms of, having come back from long-term injury, and therefore kind of not wanting to risk him there. So that's why Williams is starting. Also something that I thought was interesting during the week was Taulupe Faletau was talking about the impact that the whole contract situation is having on the Welsh players and their performance as well. WU shooting themselves in the foot again with that. But, in terms of this game then, like I'd say the loser is almost guaranteed to get the wooden spoon, unless, in the final round, whoever loses pulls off some dramatic win against someone against the odds. So there really is a lot on the line here. Italy, have got lots of praise, still haven't got a win. This is their chance now to back that up and get the win there. For Wales, it's a chance to finally get the first win of Gatland's second era in charge and maybe kickstart them ahead of preparations for the World Cup as well.